Okay, at Extreme Panel here, when we are sending out the SIP seal, which is the most important product going out, other than the panels of course, but this is what seals all the panels. When we're putting it together, this is all that we use to basically seal up every pocket, every little null and void. We take care of everything right there with this product. So it's very important, and we've incorporated a manual gun and a Milwaukee gun. These two guns come out looking like this in these boxes, and this is a very simple one. You're simply just taking it out of the bag. Here's the collar and the cone, and you're simply in business after you take this off, pull this back, insert the tube. When you're cutting these open, we want you to cut a good angle to it. A lot of guys will just cut it straight. No, cut a good angle. We want a 1/2 inch bead coming out of that tube. And 3 of them come with this. A collar comes, 2 collars come with it. So a very good manual gun, just in case you don't have a battery that's charged or something like that. Now, when we get to the Milwaukee caulk gun, the reason we have went to this gun, lightweight, easy to use, a battery runs all day. It's very simple, and if you've watched the other installation videos, you've watched this gun in action. But we get a couple questions on how does this thing go together. So when you open up the box, you're going to see a second battery. They only come one width, but we buy another battery and we put it in there for you. So it's there. They're not charged. You need to put these on the charger right away. Here's the tube. I want to say this thing just slides right out of here, and you have the end of that gun, which is great. Again, you're going to cut it at a 45. We want a 1/2 inch bead coming out of here, so very important. While we're talking about this, I want you to notice that the end of this tube has this metal collar on it. If you make this big enough, if that collar comes off, it's going to slide through. If not, it's going to plug the gun. So if you want to avoid ever having this come off, you poke a tube in there, or poke a nail in there and put it into the tube and you're done. Or if you're cutting this big enough and that does come off, it's not going to get plugged in the gun. Just clarifying that point. This stuff will flow at 15 below zero, and believe me, in Minnesota we have days like that where they actually work, and it is amazing. It will remain flexible -75 to 250 degrees, which is just amazing. It's a great product. It's VOC content. A lot of people will ask that is 12 grams per liter. When you're looking at subfloor adhesive, that can be up to 300 grams per liter. So very healthy products that we use. Again, here's the second battery. Here is an end that goes on the gun. And I'm going to take it out because this is kind of an important little piece. It's the plunger. And this plunger only goes in one way. You want to put this into this end here. So here's the guts of the gun. Here's a battery charger right here to charge both the batteries, and get one on the charger immediately when you open the box. And this is the arm that goes in. So we're going to put this thing in. I'm actually going to open a battery here because I want to show you this. Goes in like this. Got that in. You then have light. So that right there, it's got half the charge in it right now. You got a reverse that doesn't do anything in reverse. It simply stops the gears. So when you have it in forward, this thing's going to go forward. When you put it in reverse is when you're going to pull this thing out. So to get this started, we're going to start it in here, and you want to have this up, just like this. And now I'm going to go forward with it. And you can see it's grabbing it, right? Here you adjust your speed. Right now it's on 6. This plunger can only go on one way. I've seen it go on wrong. And this is the wrong way right here. This little thing is made to go around this deal here. Turn a little bit, make sure that it's in there, and this little screw gets put in there. It's just a Phillips head screwdriver. Screw that in tight. And I don't have a screwdriver with me right now, but you get the idea. And then this sleeve goes on here. You screw this into this. I do want you to note that if this loosens up on this end right here, there's a nut down in here that you need to tighten. See that nut? And I can run this here. So this nut here you can tighten, and it will make sure that this is not too far away. Because if this gets too far away, you're going to notice something is wrong. So go in here and tighten this nut. And now I have it in reverse, and you can go this way, that way, however you need to. You can now screw this onto here. You then have cut your angle on your tip to make a good 1/2 inch bead. You put the tube in, screw that on, you're good to go. And that is basically the setup for this. You will notice you'll probably want to set this down to about 4.5 to 5 to get going and get started. But then once you get going, you're going to realize you want to move quick, because it will lay a really nice bead on the panel. And we have went to less beads with a bigger bead. So that 1/2 inch bead, make sure you're understanding where it goes. And if you have any questions, ask the sales team at Extreme. Call 800-977-2635. Ask for Perry, Josh, or Adam. Thanks.